home you're enduring. Safety fleeting, warmth fades. Once seeping would keep bleeding. Branches flowerless and chaste. A time once meant for blooming flowers. Marks instead.
Hi guys to everyone, it's Ada from Poison Rock, and I just say welcome, Kjell. How are you?
Hey guys. Good to see you.
Okay, I mean, you don't need introduction. I mean, come on, it's you're part of Poison Rock already. We can just go straight forward and talk about what's going on. How are you?
Yeah.
Going?
Yeah,
It's
well
like-
now, what's going on? And it's the last minute for me before the next single is out, so
Yeah.
I have to deal with there, which is what we're gonna talk about mainly, and
Yeah, of course.
probably some such.
Yeah, because last time, a couple of months ago, when we did, I think it was around maybe November, October, or something. That time, kindish.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah,
Some autumn.
couple of months, somewhere in the past, 2024. You were
Yeah.
we kind of focused more on what you were working with the Sami project and the Lithuanian project. So,
Yeah.
of course, that was a beautiful interview to people to watch. And if they want, we have a long 1 hour interview to just they can listen to. But in general, how did it go how did it go until now with those two projects where they are at least for now?
Yeah, the Stuba project is I mean we live in different places, so
Yeah,
it's on for now. The release went okay. I'm proud of that thing. I wish that more people would find it and listen to it, of course, but it's quite okay. We're
yeah,
in the process of trying to raise fund money, from some foundations, so we can meet up and make a proper recording. As the other one, as we
yeah,
talked about in the last episode, was
exactly.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, done very much in a hurry with whatever we had available. So we're planning slowly to make another recording where I will bring my whole studio and microphones and such and go to their place in Lithuania. I'm also trying to get money to do another project in Lithuania this summer with
okay.
another guy, which is it's a big topic. He has this absolutely amazing festival called the Bieva, and it's all about. It's a festival where people go to evolve themselves. There's music, there's workshops, there's courses, there's dancing, improvisation. It's one of the most amazing, wonderful festivals I ever attended 2 years ago, and we're working on getting money so I can come back there and participate more this time and do
Yeah,
some
of course.
workshop
Being more
and
involved.
music. We would always end the evening, me and the leader of this festival, where we will always end the day with a 1 hour meditational improvisation where people
Oh,
are lying down on mattresses in the hall.
I mean, that's
Um,
what all you know me. That's what we need in the world. That's the best way to just having just using music and culture and everything, but it's in the world Earth to evolve. Because we always talking
exactly.
about healing, but once you healed, what do? You should
Yeah,
evolve.
exactly. And that's exactly what Prestigious made with the Besupieva Festival. It's a place where people, they don't care about your background. It's not a festival that you won't get booze, you won't get drugs, you won't get any of those things there because we don't need it when we're
No,
there,
thank you. Jesus,
And
finally, thank you. We don't
there's
need to be drunk.
yeah, and one of the main reasons why he made the festival, it's a place where people with backgrounds can come to start over,
Yeah, yeah,
back to themselves,
yeah, exactly.
and it's
Yeah,
so beautiful, really beautiful. So I hope to be able to go there this summer. I would
yeah.
really like that. And yeah, so we're working on that.
And it's beautiful because, like you said, you mentioned us things that for me it's fundamental because people always think the thing that you can have fun and you can really enjoy and entertain only if you have your mind altered by something and not by yourself.
Exactly, but then it's not self to do it.
Exactly. It's only for me. For me personally, that's my point of view. It's an escaping for the what if because if you can do it, if you can just do it by being yourself, maybe you can may say I like maybe you can say I can have a drink or can have something, but after because you're already able to entertain yourself, have a stay with your own thoughts and there here and there with yourself, and that's important. That's what I always try to teach to the people, but whatever people, the world, they are their own mind. I hope that the collective consciousness one day will shift for real.
Yeah,
Not easy.
yeah. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of people waking up around the world. And I mean, I'm not against. I mean, I can have a few drinks myself, or it's not about that. But we don't really need that. It's pleasant, it's nice, and such. But for me, it's like if I do a concert, if I'm working, I never drink or anything at all because I'm there to do a job. And if I do a concert, there's people who pays money to come and see me. So I'm going to be my best. And I'm not my best if I'm drunk. It's just that simple.
That can happen just for having fun, not for just escaping your own reality. That's the point. So that's important when you have even in whatever places, outside with friend or even after the meal, just something because you like it, not because you need it. That's the difference. So, but just coming back to the present, since we're talking to the present. So, what is going on with SOLACE on the 20th of February? So Monday, basically.
4th.
24th. Yeah.
There's a very specific reason why the 24th of February. So
okay, so let's start with that. What is going on with 24th?
As most of you probably know, a few years ago, I was called in by a guy called Jonas Lorentzen, and he asked me if I would take part in his project in Nebala. And that's how the journey that led to Solace, and also the song Traced, which is the same song, it's just different languages, started because while we were in the studio working on the first album, we got this crazy job in the middle of the pandemics and everything. And we drove from Bergen in Norway to Odessa in Ukraine.
Okay.
Which is that's a long
journey. Yeah.
But there wasn't any other way to get there because we went there. We did a few shows in Ukraine. It was booked through the embassy, and it was absolutely beautiful. And we met so many nice people. Amongst other the beautiful people of Conan Rocks, which is a TV video studio in Odessa. And that also led to the Nebala music video and short movie that we made. Yeah. It's made by those guys in Ukraine. So I couldn't be there, but Jonas went there and they made the whole video in Ukraine with the Ukrainian film team and actors and such. And we grew pretty good friends with these guys. I really, and we were also supposed to go on another tour with me and Jonas as a duo, to do a tour with a theater group from Ukraine, in Ukraine, a theater show about the Vikings' journeys through Ukraine. But we got cancelled because that was exactly when the invasion started. So it's 1 week before we were supposed to go on that tour. So that's the backstory, and of course we couldn't go there. They can't come here, and so on. So they had to totally change the way they worked. They still have their studio somewhat, and they make videos, but the situation isn't exactly the same. And they just changed around, and what they started was that they got some fundings from people around. and they've got some safety clothes, and then they started to drive around Ukraine, bringing reporters on safest roads as possible, so they could actually document what was actually going
Actually,
on.
yeah, which is important.
Instead of just documenting what they get from media, you know.
Yeah, because
So
information.
yeah, exactly. And through that, a friend of mine, Tove Hassel, she saw some of the videos that we got some updates from the guys. We still get them. Um, and they were the guys who told us that, yeah, but it's not so bad, you know, we're managing, and you know, yeah, we didn't have a telephone net anymore, but or we couldn't charge things, but we figured that if you reconnected the old telephone net, there was still electrics there, so we can charge our phones, you know.
Even in
And
the
so
toughest
on.
times, people try to. That's when you show your own strength. In the toughest time, when people find even a small smile or the strength, you can see how strong they are. That's important.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Tove wrote this lyric to those guys called Trist. And recently, my very good friend Karina Dulea made a rewrite into English, as her English is way much better than mine. And so now I'm releasing a single with both versions. It's a new mix of Trist, and it's also Solace, which releases done on the 24th of February, which is the 3-year point of the invasion of Ukraine.
Yeah, that's you see, that's really important, and also I understand that that's important to release also this interview before that day, because I understand why now, and
Mhm.
I've said that to you because you always take to heart everyone, that every cultural situation going on in the world shall always just always to bring like a warm hug to everyone in the world, with your own even thoughts, music, to everyone, from the Sami project, Lithuania, always, even when you came to Italy, always. And that's what I mean, that's what people we need more in the world. And I think there are lots of people, of course, doing in other way beautiful job, like you do as well. You have Ilaria. I did an interview with Ilaria also. Ilaria,
She's wonderful, aren't she?
yeah, she's amazing.
Actually spent all day working on one of her songs.
Yeah, she told me something. She told me already something, and I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about, yeah.
Yeah, no, she's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he's such an amazing soul. We started to talk, I mean, and not only we started to talk aside, like privately, which is amazing. She's really
Yeah.
a good woman, and with a good art, and also like she's a perfectionist, a really good in her job. So she's literally balanced, and I like that. So you don't have too much or too like, you have balance. And I mean, I know that about some, so we kind of said a little bit of spoiler of the next interview, probably something going on with Ilaria, some here and there. Of course, you have this beautiful thirst for culture. You are always interested in knowing more about the worldwide culture. Could be any place in the world, but this is a single Solace. It's kind of a, I think, and like I said, a big warm hug to what is going on, what happened. Unfortunately, this invasion happened in that awful.
It could also apply to anywhere which is in similar
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
It's not a place specific thing. For me, it's a song to my friends,
Yeah.
but it could apply to any situation.
Yeah, of course,
Really.
too, because I mean, it's not only one situation that happening, like in the war situation. I think it can also in
Definitely,
personal life.
yeah.
We all will always have a invention in our life, in our personal life, our mind,
Yeah.
in any field, our mind, our personal life. So yeah, I got that very a lot.
Mhm.
And so since the single that you last released, that said, you said that this is the rewriting. It changed also in the sound, or the sound is the same.
The sound is it's the same song.
Okay.
But it gets a bit different because you know it's not a direct translation,
Okay.
because that would be that wouldn't sound very good at all. So Karina spent quite some time to rewrite it into English to try to keep both the poetic and the
Yeah,
meaning of
yeah,
the
of
song,
course.
which is difficult with translations. Um, um, but I've been doing that a bit lately, which we will talk more about in a couple of moments, probably.
Yeah, I mean, this is the next
So,
question. So you said it, you explain it.
yeah. Yeah, so the Solace thing that we released last summer, which was a thing I did for the festival Midgardsblot, really, is I got more time, so it sounds much better now.
Okay.
So yeah.
So, and what's going on with the translation then? You're writing more in English.
That's because yeah, well, there's more music to come, and
Of course, it's time for music from
finally. It's actually way overdue. And the new album which is coming now this spring.
spring
It
now.
was
So now it's the spring, not like in the summer. Okay, thank you. I needed that. I was thinking to listen
yeah,
all
okay,
the time.
closer to summer though, but
Okay.
yeah, it was due actually a long time ago, but my life
Totally.
just headed in different directions, and it hasn't been possible to finish it before now. So I wanted to release it the year after Bluta, but here I am,
And
and
you are involved, you were, and you have been involved in so many projects that it's almost like, well, you're releasing something new all the time. So it's like keeping, also you had to release, like the cabin. And so there has been releases, but this new album are coming is like, I don't want, it's like after Blota, we have this new, there is a title that you can say? Or still on working the title of the new album?
now it'll be called Fluke.
Look, okay, why now? I need to understand more what about, because
Yeah, okay, there's a long story behind it. I'm not gonna
okay,
do that now, but
of
okay, so
course.
in the old traditions, you had different kind of poetry and different
Okay.
kind of ways of performing poetry. Maybe this is of course, very simplified, but two of the main versions of poetry you had would be a fluk and a dråpa.
Okay.
Dråpe means that actually. And a dråpa would be a big epic poem, like big epic stuff about gods and kings and
Yeah.
queens and such. While a fluke would be more like folky, folk songy, kind of simpler, more down to earth stories from life kind of
Yeah,
things,
exactly.
which this album is.
I mean, it's so you kind of give a little bit of a background what will be the next album. So more kind of based on a journey of life, let's say.
Yeah, it's a lot less of that than Bluta, definitely, and the music will be very different from Bluta.
Okay. So there's a different
This
direction.
yeah, this is a collection of it's still me playing my lyres on my ancient
Yeah,
instruments,
of course.
but it's much more folky. These are my version of folk songs,
Okay.
folklore songs. It's much more folks genre kind of music.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's not a big picture of the whole album. The big picture of the album is pretty much, uh, take care of yourself, spend some time in nature.
Thank you. That's we
But,
should start to making, I don't know, some there should have been some kind of worldwide, like in every country, in every nation in the world, like someone of us, I don't know, someone that goes all around to say stay more in nature, stay more in nature, just bring in the people and put them in nature, just like that.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, yes.
So yeah,
I mean,
and for those who have seen me doing my skaldic shows, where I just me and my lyres doing
yeah.
singing my songs, you probably heard most of these songs already, because some of them are songs I've been singing for years and years and years.
Okay, so
Some of these songs I've been playing live for at least 10 years.
So it's
So it was time to record them.
you basically recollect all, I mean, it's all song that you performed before, or aside solos, there is new ones as well, like that you composed recently.
Yeah, it's a collection of yeah, okay, there's gonna be 13 tracks on the album.
Okay.
It's not really gonna be 13 different songs.
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course.
Because some of these songs will be made in two versions with the Norwegian and English versions, like Solace, which comes on
Okay.
Monday with a Norwegian and an English version.
Okay.
The next single, which is called Pine,
Right.
is also one of those. It's called Gran in Norwegian, and
Okay.
most people who see Galdic shows have heard me sing Gran for years.
Okay. So you are
Also,
recording. Okay.
sorry.
I said that those are gonna be recorded in English and also in Norwegian.
Yeah, both. So there
Okay.
will be both a Norwegian and an English version on the album.
Okay.
So for those who want to, I mean, for the Norwegians who like to listen in Norwegian, they can do that. For those who speak English, who likes to still hear the language, they can do that. But it's also much easier for other people to understand what I'm actually talking about.
Exactly.
So I translate some of the songs. It would be a lot of work to translate all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the second single, Pine, which is a
Right.
very folky song, it's so a lyric by Tove Hassel, which is it's a song about the pine and its meaning, or actually the spruce, but
Yeah.
we changed it to pine to make it work with
Yeah,
the
of course.
melody and English. But it's a song about the spruce, but about meaning in like both a little bit. It mentions the meaning in culture. It mentions the meaning with herbs and as medicine. But mainly, it's
I
a song
know.
about a scared little girl who doesn't fit into her local community, who finds her solace on hiding herself under the pine in the forest.
I love this song
So
already. It sounds not so nice. I mean,
it's a very cute song.
I love already this song. I mean,
Yeah,
this is my work. I mean, how can you are you able to write an album, even if it's about folky, you know, more folkloristic music, but always find a way to make people fit in it? I mean,
It's
Lotta was,
I can only sing about what I know, and what I know is life.
yeah, and that's what you do. It's a really kind of unique, because of course, you know, Blotta is a personal space here, and I'm thinking to start it. I was starting to listen again from day one, because for like every day a song, it's a healing for me, and I need it now because it goes through the darkness, through the light. But now there is
Oh, yeah.
gonna be, after there is gonna be the healing with the new album out. I will go the, you know, like the changing, so it's a kind of
There's a lot of
evolution. It's kind of
there's a lot of light in this album. It's the songs aren't necessarily all about, you know, sunshine and you know,
yeah,
lazy sunny afternoons. There's some
yeah,
pretty serious lyrics there, but it's all about light. It's
yeah.
it's like one of the songs who's not gonna be in English on the album. There's personal reasons too. It's
Of course, respect that.
it's a song I wrote for my dad.
Oh,
We have a long story, me and my dad, with music. He really didn't like what I was doing, and he really didn't like that I went into the music business. But
yeah,
at one point we met up and we just sat down, and from that point he's been so supportive to everything I've done. And he's so proud of what I managed to do.
yeah, of course.
So I wrote a song about what he gave, the most important thing he gave to me and my brothers, which was that no matter how bad things get, you know, no matter what troubles you, you can always go out there to the
Yeah,
forest and
yeah,
find peace, which
yeah,
is his motto in life.
yes,
And I
exactly.
met my dad two years Christmas 2 years ago. I met up with him. That's when I wrote this song, and I brought it, and he heard it, and he really liked it.
It's really nice. I mean, it's important.
Unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately, 2 months later, when I read the lyrics for him again, he was in a wooden box beside me,
I'm sorry.
and
Joe.
so
It's
he never got to hear
that's
the song. So
that's
that's a very personal.
and it's really important that you give this beautiful homage to your dad, and you get the chance to you have this beautiful chance to clear everything with your dad, and you saw him proud of you. It's you and your brother, so that it's really important. It's beautiful because wherever he's with you, always with you, and your brother is all gonna be proud, and that's important also
And
to the people because they have to always to remember that mom, dad, grandparents are our ancestor, our life, the ones who gave us life. So no matter how tough it is, we should sit 1 minute and just maybe talk because no matter how hard it is, all love is always there. So I'm really sorry about that for your dad, really. But I know that he's proud of you because I love my dad a lot too. So I love my mom and my dad. We are just the three of us. So it's
yeah,
it's so I know how does it feel. And so this is gonna be, I think, one of the most very important song in the album. And
yeah, and the whole album is pretty much, for my part.
yeah,
I mean, this is the album he wanted me to make,
that's
you know,
beautiful.
with the folk songs, you know,
Yeah,
because he knew I did them, but I always did the Blota thing, and you
yeah,
know, that wasn't his kind of cup of tea, you know.
yeah,
Eh,
of course.
so when I started this album actually the moment I released Blota,
Oh, really? Okay.
and it was meant to be his album, kind of with you know the stuff he wanted. So yeah, it's it's personal.
Yeah, it's a kind of an homage to him, and I think a lot of people would love that. I mean, you know that is people in the world and people listen your music always. That there is no one that say I don't like his music. I mean, in a way or another, you always
Wait,
make people.
a lot of people who don't like my music.
Oh, this album that okay, it's gonna see the light also around spring, late spring, let's say. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
there's gonna be 3 singles first. They're gonna come about 30 days apart.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, which is the new standard with streaming services and such like Spotify and these pages. They want you to release like a new song every month, which is
So
like the new standard of music industry. I don't like that much. I like albums and concerts, but the streaming services doesn't like that. They want you to release new songs every month to do,
well,
and that's something to be kept in the algorithm. So if you do
yeah.
that, then they will help pushing you further to
Okay, I
read.
didn't know that. Yeah,
If you don't do that, then they will push you for a bit. They push every new song for one month, and then they
okay.
take it. So yeah, for that month you have a higher so ending up on playlists and such.
Yeah, but it's
And
also a good way for people to absorb the song, the music, and keep on waiting for the new one. If you release it every 2 weeks, then just let's give to the people the waiting a little bit. It's good.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
important. Yeah.
So I'm gonna try this thing and do like one every month.
Okay.
So the album will be out in 4 months, but
Okay.
there will be singles coming up, and the first 2 singles will be each of them will be one song but 2 versions, one in
Okay.
English and in Norwegian. Third single, I haven't decided yet
Okay.
because the
There is
third,
time.
third single, this is going to be another song which is both in Norwegian and in English on the album, but the Norwegian version is very different from the English one. It's
Okay.
a lot longer,
Okay.
and
So
yeah.
it changes also in
So
the length
I
of the
haven't,
song.
yeah, so it's let me see, I can check it here. So the English version is 5 minutes, and the Norwegian version is almost 7. So
The power of the words. That's
yeah, no, it's the Norwegian one is much more to back to what I've been doing lately. It's much more epic. There's some big parts with no singing and such, which I kind of skipped in the English version to make it a bit
Okay.
easier for people to eat.
So in this double version, there is gonna be releasing. You will releasing. There is also be some changing and difference in the sound part.
Yeah, in the song called Havugsong will be very different in Norwegian. It's also called Between Worlds in English,
Okay.
and so it's the same song, but the Norwegian version has parts that aren't in the English one.
Okay, but it's that's it because in this way people have to listen both. I mean, to understand that they can listen maybe at the beginning in English for the worldwide collectives,
Yeah,
and
and
then
they know what it's
yeah,
about.
yeah, and then in
Yeah,
Norwegian,
because
yeah,
yeah, the Danish version of I mean, Havugsong is a very deep, but it's a very short and quite simple lyric.
yeah.
So it was very easy to make an English version, which is pretty much the same as the Norwegian one and still sounds okay.
Okay.
So that one is pretty almost word to word the same, and it works.
So and also how this, I mean, it's the because of course like last time you got the Blotta was out, it has a sound that we don't call it genre is you know for people in the music business. I don't
Like
like
that.
to say genre, yeah, but it is a sound in this new album. Something's changing in that point of view in the
It's
sound.
something very different from Bluta.
Okay, in which way we could say, of course, because we don't want to spoil all the album now, otherwise we don't have nothing to talk about when it's out. But we always find
Yeah,
something to talk about.
I've chosen a very different kind of approach to the
Okay,
music. Also, all the songs on this album are lyric-based songs.
okay,
Uh, yeah, and the instrumentation will be very different from Bluta. This is for me. It's going back to where I started. What I started when I started making music, like yeah, a while ago.
so that's
So
it's like let's say using, for example, it's just like you will be using like less instrumental, for example, more like simpler instrument.
simpler. It's gonna be much easier if I will ever afford to have a band that I can travel with, which I do not have at this point. I live in Norway, and you know, prices are pretty high, so the cost for me to hire a band
Yeah.
is insane. So yeah, for us now, you know, I'm just not big enough to be able to go on tour with hired musicians. That's how it is. It would cost me 5,000 euros a show.
I mean, it should be like, you know, like something doing like with the friends, people, you know, like, hi, shall I want to play with you? Can I do that? I think it should be something like that with the same mindset, like, it's okay if we got money.
It was easier. It was much easier when you were younger, but
Yeah.
I'm not that young anymore, and it's harder to. I mean, people my age, they don't do things for fun. They do, you know, because
Everything.
if they do for fun, they would rather stay home with their families, kind of.
The,
So it's much harder.
it's this point in life, it's music, it's your job. It's not only like a passion that you do like music and then release an album and that's okay. It's something that you're
Yeah,
pushing forward just to live, afford
yeah.
yourself to live.
Yeah, it's my passion. It's what I
Yeah,
need to do. I couldn't see a life without it, but it's also what puts food on my plate. It's also what pays the electric bills
yeah.
and the rent, and also making this place into a flat, which I'm working on at the moment. It's been an ongoing process for a while.
Yeah, but it's
So
there's time. I mean, of course, I mean, when you and important things that it can allows you to, you know, go live, for example, or just hire a musician, or just like say paying the bills, is people actually listening and having them that all the physical, for example, physical material or the new album of the old preset, all your
yeah,
work. That's how you got how we got the new music of you, or new people get the chance to see you live, festival hiring in you. That's how you get the chance to do that. Otherwise, there is no more music of you that is not good. So that's not
The easy for me with that is of course to do my skaldic shows, which is me
yeah.
and my lyres and a stump box, which I added to it now recently, so I can also make a rhythm. But that's the easy thing. That's for now. It's the only thing I can afford bringing on a tour with my own music. And if anyone out there wants to book me, then please do so. I love traveling and I love performing and sharing my music.
Yeah,
Um,
everywhere you go, also you, like I said, it's not only you go there and perform, it's kind of you're able to merge the culture. So it's also kind of an investment and acquiring from the country, for example. I mean,
yeah,
you are able to bring, let's say, for example, in Italy, you were able to just put the light, for example, to even the culture and the folklore of a country that maybe we don't, Sicilian people, that they don't have idea. You are the one say, "Oh, I like that country. I like that song. I like the folkloristic side. Let me bring into the music." So it's also kind of a good for, if you want to say, to be a little bit more economical point of view, which I don't like it, but let's say we are in the world, so we need to live in it.
yeah.
You bring out also the side of the touristic and historical point of view of that country. So it's a kind of a good investment for country, that point of view. You did it in a, also going when you went to Matera, you did it somehow. So it's and we will see something coming out soon, and then you did it with your all these projects going out. So it's important, and but also it's important because if people want to listen it's a beautiful listen music in in album, in every devices, in vinyls. But when you have the chance to see it live, which I'm waiting still, it's a different, you absorb in a different way, and you get the chance to see it, and you have the chance to do it more. So yeah, so let's make a shout out to any booking whatsoever people in the world.
Yeah, for me,
Yeah,
it's not about doing all the big festivals and big
no,
stages,
no,
which
it's
is the reasons why I'm not doing those things with those bands who aim for big stages. I mean, I loved being part of Vardruna, and I would really love to be part of Vardruna when they are playing in Pompeii soon.
yeah. I thought about you that too. I thought, because when I read that, I was like, oh, geez, you would love that.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to be part of that. Pompeii was a special place. But I did my little thing with my flute in Pompeii, so I've kind of played Pompeii.
So you played there. So after Pink Floyd, you played there. So
Yeah, and after me, but no, I'm
yeah.
not gonna go there. That's just a joke. But
Oh,
yeah,
no,
no, of
but
course.
that's beautiful.
No, I absolutely love to be part of that. But
Yeah,
times is changing, and they have a pretty damn good lineup as they do.
of course. That's a beautiful for them, of course. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can just
But back to I kind of prefer to play smaller places, clubs and because for me, performing is about communicating, and I
yeah,
need to be able to communicate with the audience. And when I'm up on those big stages with a
yeah,
thousand lights and costumes and all of that, you can't, you just you can feel some of the energy,
yeah,
but you can't really communicate. You're
exactly.
putting on a show, you're doing your thing, people are liking it, hopefully, and
Uh,
but it's not two-way communication, which
yeah,
for
they
me
can
is
also, of course, they can receive a sort of type of energy, but there's no, let's say, strict, that there's this type of communication. It's always, you have the fences, and then there is the pit, and then there is the stage in the big venue.
it's
Yeah,
not the same.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
and it's a kick. Yeah, of course it's a kick. But for me, the element of work you have to put into those shows,
It's a big
it's
one.
just yeah, it's just so much. And
Yeah,
I'd rather strip it down to smaller things and play
yeah,
smaller venues where I can actually talk to the people.
yeah,
It's
because
it's
because with your Skaldic shows and what you're doing also all around Norway and other places, it's almost like that you are in contact with people, so that's who you are. You are able to communicating to connect with the people around you, from the kids, which is mainly what you're doing, to everyone else, and that's what I think one of the best way that people can absorb and feel your music, your sound, your experience. Because if after a show you are there and people are interested, of course, in an instrument, I'm pretty sure that you're going to explain them what is it and what it's used for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so. And then of course, like the album is gonna be once it's gonna be out, of course we will have all the talk about the album, because I know that I will have a lot of question about that version, because we have a different version.
I'm very, it's I'm very I've been a lot back and forth about this thing with starting to adding English into what I do. I've had a lot of comments about it, and when I really got it thrown in my face when I released the version of Solace that I did this summer. Because of course, as a musician, you want to reach out to people, you want to end up on those playlists, all of that. It's that's the way business works. But I didn't end up on any of those, and all the feedback I got back was, "Sorry, I don't know what you're singing."
I mean, it's kind of frustrating because people, I mean, you can always, try, as you try to get to learn and understand other culture, people could do the same. But I can understand also some point of view that it's way easier.
For those guys, for the guys who's making a living from there's actually people making a living from making playlists on Spotify, and they make more money than most musicians I know. But for them it's also about, they need to know what they put on those lists. If they put one of my songs on those playlists, and I'm one of those shitheads who sings about right-wing stuff like some people do with the Viking related music, then
it's not. Yeah, exactly.
So it's understandable, and also for me it's a new approach for me for I haven't made songs with such clear messages in very many years as those who will be on this new album. So yeah, it's been much back and forward on the putting the both versions on the album or not. Maybe I should just release the singles in English version and have a Norwegian album. And there's been a lot of back and forth. I decided to keep both of them on the album. It might be confusing to some people, I don't know, but yeah.
It's because as I'm understanding, this album is really about the word, the power of the words. Because
it's
more in
for me it's about bonding with the world, kind of. There's some of the songs are just like simple songs about, they could be like folk songs from a couple of 100 years back kind of style. Some of them are there's a couple of epic there's one very epic song about a Nordic goddess that you probably heard before anyways.
A little bit there is always in your music.
Yeah. There, of course, there's songs. There's also one of my favorite songs, which I haven't, for different reasons, been able to sing, because there's been some conflicts with the song, which I finally can do again, which I did, a song I wrote together with my ex-fiancée, Vibeke Köhler. It's an absolutely beautiful lyric, which rounds up everything about circle of life seen from Old Norse religion. It's absolutely beautiful. It's called the Vindens Vei, or the way of the wind.
Wow,
of course, there's going to be some references to that, because I mean that's what I've been doing for like 25 years now. I've been focusing mainly on Old Norse stuff,
But in this way, you're opening a small door to a new. There's the new kind of a new. I don't want to say you're doing kind of experimenting in music, because you're just putting a translation and a version in English. But it's a bet that you're doing on your music, and it's a change also. But that I think it only can help more people, especially people from any country that are not maybe even in Europe, let's say, or the
Outside Scandinavia.
yeah,
Yeah.
to get it closer, or maybe also not in the genre at all, because
Yeah, it's
there are.
definitely more well for people who's not into the Nordic music scene.
Yeah,
The
which
whole
your music, by the way, it's a mixture of cultures. It's not only Nordic. There's a lot of sound in your music that also Easterns.
yeah,
So
yeah, there's always going to be references from different parts of the world in my
yeah,
music. This one probably one of the most kind of Nordic I've ever done. Not if you look at Nordic music as like what do now a Heilungen song, because it doesn't sound like that whatsoever.
I
It's a
love.
very different kind of music, and that nothing negative of them. So of
No, of
course I love
course,
these guys,
of
but
course.
it's very different from that. I've taken a step back to where I started off,
Right,
like 30,
right.
35, 40 years ago, you know.
It's kind of
Uh,
kind of coming. It's not coming back to the roots, but it's kind of coming back where you were start say you started, and just all these songs that you performed in the Skaldic show, you're putting in a. You recorded them, so people that even I didn't see a Skaldic show, so I can people can like me spread it throughout Europe can listen to it through the world can listen to
yeah.
it, and
There's already some live versions. I mean, I have the Bronzeklassen live album, and quite a few of the songs on this album
and this
are already on that one.
and with an English version now. So we are.
Yeah, and a addressed version with it, which is not just me on a Viking market singing on a grass field, you know?
Which is beautiful, by the way. I mean, in a especially the part of the green field, the grass field. That's beautiful. I mean, that's the best live show will always happen in the nature.
I kind of like that live video a lot. It's I really like it. It's not very popular on YouTube, but it's there and I like it.
I mean, of course, but did you think like about because I don't remember like your last really music video recorded for Blood was for maybe for first or something like that was for Blotta. You're thinking about to do
Yeah,
some music video for this for this upcoming album?
no, I did a live video when I released the live album Bronzeplassen a few years back, which is a live recording which was also filmed at a Viking market in Norway.
That's
So that's my live video there. But no, I don't have any plans for now. As for now, I can't really afford making any videos for this album at all, which I really wanted to, but at the moment I just don't have the
yeah.
resources to do it. So
Where they will have at the right moment also because people always think that behind musician or people in the music field there are always money flowing, but no, that's not the case.
that's not how it works. No.
It doesn't. I mean, sometimes
I-
people doesn't. I mean, from what musician release, there's coming really few after even less of what you put as a literally as an effort in an economic side. So it's important when like I said, it's important for people supporting the music, buying albums, throughout merchandising, throughout showing on live show of anyone in the world. That it's a business because you live out of it. It's a beautiful business if you do it in a beautiful way, because of course then it's the wrong side, but that's the
There's
right.
no shit in this business.
I mean,
Yeah.
uh, so I mean, so let's say in a month, almost now we are. Of course, there is gonna be SOLACE, so on Monday, which is now basically now, and
Which I really can't wait for finally letting out.
yeah, because I can hear only if you. I want to hear the because of course we can hear you singing in English.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
yeah.
how
You're
did
not
you
exactly
feel?
that.
How did you feel to
I,
be
I'm
playing?
I'm working with it. It's it's not my language.
Oh,
I can make myself expressed in English, but with a song, it's difficult when you can't really, when your pronunciation isn't exactly how it should be. I mean, everybody will hear that I'm not English speaker, you know.
Yeah.
And it's scary to release such a thing, but then again, you know, I am Norwegian, so of
Yeah, I
course I'm
mean,
not in English as an English person,
yeah,
you
of
know.
course. I mean, there's nothing wrong. I mean, if and also it's good to see as an appreciation to make an effort to just say, okay, I'm putting my. Everyone can hear that in English, because it's like, I mean, we could even do the interview. Like, I don't know, you talking Norwegian and me talking Italian with a translator. I don't know, just with the whatever it's called, AI, so using something like that. But it's
Yeah, there's people doing that these days.
oh Jesus Christ! This, I mean, I let's keep everything open, being open-minded, but supporting arts, it's supporting real arts. It's supporting
Yeah.
what you're doing, what you maybe, especially these, painters draw. People make drawings. That's buying their own pieces. They're gonna have, like for example, the cover of the album, which is the most talk thing at the moment, using AI for making it go. I can understand, like I said, maybe people can't afford to pay someone, and maybe I can understand that. It's nothing wrong with that. Everything in the technology, if you make a good use, it's okay. It's well,
Yeah.
when
I
you
mean, I even used AI to sketch out the concept for this album,
okay.
but at the moment, Fatima Akkerson, which also made the cover for Ferd, is working on making the cover and making the pictures. And I gave her some ideas, but they're obviously not good enough, you know. So I
Yeah.
gave her some ideas that I created via AI to make her give her the picture that, okay,
Yeah.
this is the style I want, and you know. But then, of course, she will make the art for the album and the cover.
And so this means that we will have you're thinking of doing for of course people that will request the physical version of the album.
Yeah, there will be a CD. I'm not entirely sure how to pull that off at the moment economically, but I'm working on it. But now that there will, of course, be available CD, I just cannot afford vinyl. I mean,
Yeah, it's
for me, living in Norway, it's also about the prices of making and importing these things to Norway and then selling them out of Norway again, which means if I would make a very simple vinyl album, I would have to sell them for a very, very high price, which is much higher than other artists in Europe, because the taxes in Norway are just beyond. So when I print like CDs or vinyls, then I have to pay the price it costs to print them. Then they add the cost of postage, and then they add 25% to that when I bring them to Norway. And when I sell them out to customers outside Norway, they add 25% to that too. So it's impossible. So I don't
now. Try to sell it in US. It's in United
yeah,
States. It's impossible.
No, exactly. That's the backside of being in a rich country, because trying to make physical things and sell them, I don't really make money from CDs because it cost me the same to make them as I can sell them for to Europe, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and by now I think this, especially since we are talking about the release of SOLACE, is you're putting on a Bandcamp or something, because of course there's going to be the full.
It'll be on my Bandcamp. It'll be available for purchase there, both digital and physical. And please, you know, if you like the album, I would really appreciate if you buy it. And I will probably, as always, make a pre-sale on Bandcamp, and everybody who buys the album before the release day will have it signed and so on, as I always do.
And that's, like I said, that's what is important, and that's always what I speak about. It's that is not easy to sell, and like you said, make an album. A year ago, I think I made a whole video on Instagram talking about that, because a musician from another, let's say 80s music, he had all, like he had all this music from the 80s on tapes, and of course it's not, like a lot of money. He spent a lot of money to put this music in tapes in.
Yeah, I did that too back then.
It's a really expensive, and to sell it and to have money back, people were like, oh, I mean, I don't like it. I mean, people were complaining about the price of the final product because maybe they wanted the album for, I don't know, 5 euros, but all the money that someone else spent to put the VHS on the I don't know, mastering process, and then redoing, adjusting the sound, and maybe renting the studio, whatever you, and the final product, you can't sell it for 5 euros. Maybe you have to sell it for 10, 15, 20. That's what you can.
Because I pay more than €5 a CD when
Yeah.
I print myself. So
Yeah, you have to cover the expenses and get something back. And if you don't do that, people don't. But it's not only, it's, you can apply that for people that print CDs, musicians, or people, I don't know, in the press, let's say, why there are no longer so much magazines anymore. So that's an example. I mean,
yeah.
that's another example. In any music field, people think that it's easy, but I'm gonna. When we were kids, we were always going to the store and buy CDs because that's all what we had. Now it's easier, but you can have both because it's not only for collectionists. I swear I don't have any CDs reader, whatever it's called. I only have vinyls reader. So I want to buy vinyls because for me it's not only
Yeah, me too.
yeah, because I like it, because I can hear better the sound somehow. For me, for my
I,
ear.
I prefer vinyl.
Yeah.
Sometimes I prefer vinyl. The coziness of
Yeah.
the vinyl. I also prefer the covers on on vinyls.
It's
But
beautiful. Yeah. So that's why,
it's
yeah, it's expensive.
for the ground artists like me, because that's what I am. It's just too expensive,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And I really hope that with this new release that you're doing, at least people, like you said, they're gonna make pre-sale because you have a gigantic background in music, and not having properly recognized is not fair. It's not fair because you know that you have a big background in music. So you did a lot, you put effort. And many people, many musicians like you, Kjell, will probably say, bye, I'm gonna do another job, I'm gonna work in some label, I'm gonna work in composition. But you're still here, going, doing your scout show, doing
Giving up.
yeah. And that's why, I mean, always we have to push. I mean, well, that's why we always come back here every 3 months, and I'm like always witnessing. So of course we will come back before when you open the pre-sale, we're coming back because
Yeah,
I have to push. I have to push. You know that I'm
yeah.
the first one to push. You know, I have to do it because
And I'm working on this because I got a basement in Oslo, so I'm moving back to Oslo for after 20 years away. So I'm currently making myself a flat from scratch. There's nothing here.
it's
But the room beside here is going to be a brand new, really nice studio. So when that's done, I can promise you that there's gonna be more music.
so you see, because that's your job. You have really dedicated your life. You're dedicating your life to music, and not only that's why people should more open. You're dedicating your life to helping others, embracing others. Also, Solace, the single that is coming out, it's just to look to hugging someone else, just for some. You're dedicating to you're
Will
traveling.
give-
You're traveling the world. You all travel the world to just help a lot of people. So I think, when you give good, you receive good. So that's
Without good feedback I get from those people who listen to my music, I wouldn't be able to do it, because it is, let's just face it, it's a rough business to be in, and not going mainstream is quite rough. But that feedback that I got from people listening to my music, it's worth the universe.
Yeah. And I mean, there are people that even everywhere that you perform, in any place you perform your own music, always there are people that felt good, that healed, evolved, changed. I mean, really, I am no longer, like I said, I told you out of the screen, I feel an outsider here. I no longer belong to this place. So I bought myself a tagalarpa, a shamanic drum. I didn't know what they were before. I was saying that today, before even meeting Espen. Who was that word? Who are? Well, now everything changed. I put my bass in the corner. So everything changed.
Yeah, I picked up my guitars again, though.
Oh, really? If you want to get a bass, if you need.
No, they're here with me. They're yeah. Finally,
I
finally.
like that in your basement you also put some plant, so there's the nature even in the city. We bring the nature even our house.
I'll even have my own garden here, actually.
You're lucky. Here you don't have you have like a base. You have like cement. That's
Yeah. There's quite a bit of that here too, though. But it's above ground. Some of the apartments will be above ground, and I can make myself a garden. And also for the rock and metal people, I am my backyard is a big field. There's it'll take me 15 minutes with bus to the central station in Oslo. But still, you could walk for 2 hours in forest and parks here. And one of those parks is the park where the festival Tons of Rock goes on every year.
Okay.
Literally the backyard, you know.
So you can just listen from home.
Yeah, I was packing up. I was touring, but I was here visiting my mom who lives up here.
Okay.
Last year. While Europe was playing my backyard, actually, the final countdown.
So like, okay, I'm listening from a backyard. You see, it's for free. You can just enjoy it. That's a luxury that no one has. I can hear some folkloristic music from my city, which is called neo-melodic music. It's not that good, which is a kind of weird. Maybe you will see some beauty in it, but as people, we never see the beauty in what we have. And that's what you do. You take the beauty of what people that live in a place can see and show to the world.
Yeah.
So so let's say that for the moment we leave the live show part after the album is gonna be released, because we want people to focus mainly about the meaning of the SOLACE first, and then we'll catch up again about the album. And then for the live part there is gonna be, we are still in winter, so there's still times so
and the album will be out in May, so
there's still a lot of times. I mean, people have to focus in this song, which is have a deep meaning, and especially I'm gonna say once again, the song is on Bandcamp, the album will be on Bandcamp, and supporting is the key to have more music video, touring, band, whatever, to have everything. So if they want
and for those very interested, and those who somebody may those who know my homepage, they know that I have a pretty large file of albums releases there. I have my as complete catalog as possible, and you can already go there to see the cover for the next 2 singles.
Okay. So they are there, okay. And also they donate only to go on Bandcamp and your website just to see your catalog of music about the upcoming, but also to keep and starting to real support. They can listen to Eyewitness and go to start, for example, now they can get a single and maybe Blota to just then see the difference, and the older Kevin, the older pro music. It works, and I'm gonna be the proof. I am the proof. I'm not insane. I stop seeing my therapist almost every month, really. So it works. And I really worked. And I know it's you did an amazing. You did one of those tools that I said all the time. Every people in the healing business, healing world, should have in their own place to make listen to patient people for meditation, just also for themselves. It's to me helped, and I know that the new album somehow will help to discover, to be happy, to evolve, to have a smile, to have hope in life.
It's still done by heart, so of course that should be in there.
Okay, so
Yeah.
for the time being, Sean, it was really always a pleasure. Always we find something to talk, even if it's just a single. We always get lost.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
All right.
that's
Yeah,
nothing.
but
People know our interview. How did they go?
yeah,
I hope
yeah.
this
And,
year
and time,
we have to meet this year. I don't care where. I'm gonna be in around Oslo area, so we're gonna to meet even for a coffee or I don't know a tea, an herbal
would love
tea.
that.
We
Yeah.
have to meet for sure, and I'll let you know about. We will talk later about how to set up the interview. And thank you so much, and enjoy this beautiful day. Evening, not day. It's evening. I forgot that it's evening already.
Yeah, it's dark outside.
Yes, I forgot. Thank you so much, Sean, and a big hug as always. Thank you so much. See you soon, Sean. Bye bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Stjerner vil jeg gi til deg, men det svarer i mitt hjerte.